Recording started.
Okay, Assalamualaikum and very good morning to everyone. So hari ni kami nak bincang about chapter 5, which is first one is explain the approaches of item placement. So for the first one is ABC categorization.
Tak dengar betul tak? So first is ABC categorization. So what is ABC categorization? It is a ABC analysis. It is an inventory categorization method which consists in dividing item into three categories, which is A, B, and C. A is being the most valuable item, and C is being the least valuable ones. This method aims to draw manager attention on the critical few A item, not on the trivial many C item. ABC analysis have a step for the classification of item. First is find out the unit cost and the usage of each material over a given period. Multiply the unit cost by the estimated annual usage to obtain the net value. 3 is list out all of the item, arrange them in the descending value. And 4 is accumulate value and add up number of item and calculate percentage on total inventory in value and in a number. 5. Draw a curve of percentage item and percentage value. And last one is mark out from the curve the rational limits of A, B, and C categories. That's all for ABC categorization.
Uh, okay, next will be my part. So, a very good morning to my lecturers and my fellow friends. My name is Chong Kim Hong and my metric number is 01DIM20F2007. So, today I will be discussing about the unloading and loading ratio to ABC categorization. So, for your information, in order to improve the accuracy of inventory stratification, the loading and unloading ratio of SKU can be incorporated into ABC categorization. But then, the ABC categorization deals with the frequency of use, meanwhile the loading and unloading ratio deals with the handling of the product from the time it is brought to the storage and storage location to the time it is sent to its point of use. After that, let me explain what is unloading and loading ratio to ABC categorization. The loading and unloading ratio actually refers to the number of trips that are required to get to the storage location compared to the number of trips that are required to transport the item from storage to its point of use. So, in conclusion, the higher the importance of an item to be placed to its point of use, the higher the ratio of it. Next.
Okay, for the next point is family grouping. Family grouping is a simple concept. As the name states, you will be placing like items with similar characteristics next to each other. It is like placing hammers with hammers, screwdrivers with screwdrivers, and so on. It can also mean placing items that are used in conjunction with each other together. For instance, placing all necessary items to complete a kit. Let's say you are assembling a cup. You might want to place all of the second hands, minute hands, and hour hands in close proximity to each other. This will lead to a more efficient process when it is time for those items to be paid. Items can be grouped by similar characteristics whether they are used or they are sold together. This simplifies the storage and retrieval of the items. It also makes recognizing recognizing items easier as well as utilizing a zone locating system. There are some drawbacks to this method of item placement. Item Items may accidentally be substituted for on another because they are so similar in nature. There may even be times when a particular item is used in multiple family groups. This may lead to several homes of the item within your warehouse.
Okay, for the last one is special consideration. So the special consideration concept of item placement. The way an item is received, stored, picked, and packed and shipped may be dictated by the item itself. If the item is extremely heavy and special equipment is required to maneuver it, then special consideration may be needed when determining where to position the item within your warehouse. Other contributing factors could be and are not limited to size, fragility, and its hazardous nature, or even how perishable it is. This is more the exception than the rules as to how inventory is to be handled. So for the next task is elaborate inventory replacement in warehousing. But
Alright, there is three types of replenishment inventory. The first one is demand inventory replenishment. Demand inventory replenishment models make sense for a house with limited space and picking locations. It is best used in situations where it is inefficient to dedicate significant space in a single item. In demand replenishment, the replenishment quantity should be just enough to fulfill a pending order or group of orders without leaving excess stock behind. Okey, maksudnya dalam kuantiti penambahan permintaan, kuantiti penambahan permintaan hendaklah cukup untuk memenuhi stok yang belum selesai atau kumpulan pesanan tanpa meninggalkan lebihan stok. Okey, next Amma.
okay, for the replacement based on minimum stock level sets. Replacement based on minimum stock level set refers to the process of resupplying or restocking inventory to maintain a desired minimum level of stock. It involves monitoring the quantity of product or materials on hand and initiating others or actions to ensure that the stock does not fall below a predetermined minimum threshold. The minimum stock level is typically established by considering factors such as customer demand, lead time for restocking, and desired service levels. When the stock level drops below this minimum threshold, the replacement process is triggered to restore the stock to an acceptable level. Replenishment based on minimum stock levels help businesses ensure that they have enough inventory to meet customer demand while minimizing the risk of stock out or delay in fulfilling orders. By proactively managing stock levels and initiating replenishment action, companies can maintain a smooth supply chain and optimize their operation.
Alright, last but not least is top of inventory replenishment. The top of replenishment model uses similar minimum or maximum data source as the minimum or maximum replenishment model and usually runs on set schedule or batch release by area line or product. The inventory for a specific product is a top of to acceptable levels in picking areas of forward peak location based on projected demand or shifts in the number of available stock. Okay, this model works well when large wave or of picking work or picking volume is expected. It's best used when picking operations are less active, when there are work stock shortage. Having a system there Having a system that triggers stop of replenishment when variations in picking work or volume is expected promotes interleaving opportunities in active areas. I think that's all from us.